Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's lesson, we will be learning about transversals and in specific corresponding angles. Make sure you are taking good notes on whatever you feel hesitant about, and hopefully this video will clear up a few things. Let's get started. Here's a definition for us. A transversal is a line that cuts across or intersects a system of lines. A transversal could anywhere look from this to even this. You can't really get much information out of these two since the lines are sort of all over the place. However, you can get a ton of information from a transversal that looks like this because it intersects parallel lines. This might sound a little confusing, but let me explain. These are corresponding angles. There really isn't a good way to write this out in words, so I highly recommend drawing a picture like this one out in your book. As you see, we have two parallel lines as drawn here using small arrows, and I'm going to go ahead and label it using this. That little arrow symbol, it means it's parallel lines, and just as a reminder, that's the symbol for parallel lines when you're drawing. And here is the transversal. That's what splits the two parallel lines. You can see the pairs of angles that are congruent are angle 1 and angle 5, angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7, and angle 4 and angle 8. If you remember from the basic geometry video, we learned that congruent also meant equal. So all of those pairs are equal. And this is the sign for congruent if you wanted to know. However, I would like to draw some attention to the fact that this can only happen if two lines are parallel. So this is entirely incorrect. You can't just assume the lines are parallel and identify them as congruent. So let's move on and look at an example. I'm going to try to blow your mind here, maybe. Here we have a triangle, and as you see here, the triangle has a segment parallel to its base. Now let's see if we can identify a pair of angles in this triangle that are congruent. Let's see, yep, here this pair is. Oh, man, there's another one. This one is 2. So if you're a little confused, let's draw this out as a transversal like we saw before. If we simply take this triangle, this is the same triangle that we're drawing parallel lines. And then we're going to draw the edge of the triangle. So if you look closely in this dotted line, I'll be drawing like a phantom triangle. This is like what the triangle looked like before. And as you see, this is exactly what a transversal would look like if you draw like a transversal. And you could see this angle and this angle are congruent thanks to corresponding angles. Let's practice our skills now. Here we have another transversal that has two parallel lines. Identify all pairs of corresponding angles as a list. Pause the video and work this problem out at your own pace. Okay, let's see if you got them right. Did you? Okay, let's move on. Now, we're going to go even further by explaining the converse of this theorem. In geometry, the converse is the opposite of what a specific theorem states. The corresponding angles theorem, and this is it here, that we discussed earlier in the video states that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of congruent angles are congruent. So the converse would be flipping the two subjects in the statement around. It would then state, if two coplanar lines are cut by a transversal so that a pair of corresponding angles are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. I hope you can realize that instead of proving that the angles are congruent like the original theorem states, it was working backwards using another given term to show that the lines are parallel. Let me show you an example here. So in this triangle, it is stated that angles 1 and 2 are congruent, and we have to prove that lines AB and XY are parallel. According to the converse of this theorem, if the corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Therefore, since angles 1 and 2 are congruent, and they are corresponding, the lines A and B and X and Y are lines A, B, and X, Y are parallel. In addition to this problem, I wanted to show you the symbol down here, right here. That's the parallel symbol, but you would use this in writing rather than in a diagram. This video begins sort of a series where I will be discussing more different types of congruent angles you will see in transversals. Until then, make sure you write down some of these key vocab words and symbols and their definitions to reference for later. Thank you so much for watching this video. To get more content like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us grow. Until next time.